So everyone stand up. Move back there. If you need to push chairs out of your way a little bit, go ahead and do it. Go ahead, stand back there. It's going to be a little bit tight. Maybe some of you do want to be up here to others, right? We'll see if we have enough room back there, right? Huh?
Just throw it.
Okay, so the first question is just a warm-up question. Let's see how it goes. It's a practice question. The first question says, when it comes to confronting other people, I am more like sandpaper over here or silk over there. When it comes to confronting other people, I am like sandpaper or I'm like silk. Go stand. Stand, go. 30 seconds. So let's see. Okay, let's hear from someone here. This is clearly the silk side. This is somewhere in the middle, right? And these are the sandpaper people, right? So, standing right there, what's your name? Margarita. Everyone round of applause, Margarita. So tell us really quickly, you say you're silk. How does confronting other people feel to you?
I feel uncomfortable because I wouldn't want to be treated in a confrontational way.
So it's about you don't want to be confrontational with other people because you don't want them to be confrontational to you. Okay, fair enough, right? So let's go all the way over here and let's go, sir, right here. What's your name?
My name is Eddie.
Eddie? Round of applause for Eddie, please. Eddie, you said it's better to be like sandpaper. Why?
Direct.
Direct. It's better to be direct. Even if it's a little bit painful, better to be direct, right?
Yes.
Are either one of these two points mutually exclusive? I mean, can people live with both of these things? Are either answers wrong? No, right? So, look around the room. If you have a friend who's standing on the other room from you, look, now you know something about them. Okay. So Brian's going to take you to the next question. We're going to get a little bit deeper, know a little bit more about you.
Alright, this is going to be a bit more serious question. Take this seriously. Who I am is defined by where I'm from or my experiences.
Oh, wow.
Where I'm from is over there. My experiences are over here. This is where I'm from. My experiences. Whoa! Wow, right?
Es como que aquí. There's a lot aquí.
All right, Rodolfo, no nature. Tell us why you're a little bit off to the where I'm from. Give us your opinion and speak loudly for everybody.
Good. The reason that I'm here is because where I'm from kind of defines the experiences that I've had so far.
How many of you are now thinking about that? Going, maybe I'm not standing in the right place, right? Very interesting. So let's do someone extreme over here, sir. Tell us your name.
Eric, my name is Eric.
Eric, round of applause for Eric.
So basically, your experiences are gonna move you around with what you feel. So depending on those experiences, you might grow a lot more to understanding things. So I am defined by those experiences. I decide after my experiences what I want to do with it.
Okay.
So I'm supposed to always be in control of that.
Very, very interesting. Okay, round of applause for all of you. Okay, I'm going to take you through the third one. The third one asks, change in Puerto Rico will come from raising my voice over here, taking actions over here. Raising my voice over here. Raising my voice. Action. Are there any of you who are like, I'm just too crowded in here, I'm not going to ask people to move because I'm like silk, right? Oh, interesting, right? So the vast majority, all of you seem to think that it's really much more about actions and not So what do you all think about protest though? Does protest serve its role in raising awareness?
Yes.
It does? Right? But you're all over here, like totally over to the side. How many? The James mind, right? So tell us why. Tell us your thought.
Raising our voices against the things that we don't believe in can lead people to take action and to stand up, you know.
So maybe sometimes a voice is needed.
A voice is needed, and not the same voice, different voices.
How many of you are moved by that statement? Oh, good. She won someone over.
That's the start.
Uh-huh.
Because sometimes that people don't know, and when somebody raise voice, they start to taking action. Before they do.
Okay. So how many of you are kind of moved by what they're saying? Right? No, you're nodding your head. So tell us your opinion.
Well, voice, just being a voice is just noise. You don't have a plan or an action to follow. You just become noise and distraction.
To be is to do.
To be is to do, right? So, neither opinion is necessarily 100% right or 100% wrong, but they're meaningful, right? So Brian will take you through the next one. Get ready.
All right. Change takes consensus or confrontation. Consensus on this side, confrontation on that side. All right, who wants to explain why? Who wants to explain why? Let's see.
In my experience, every time that I want to change something, which is pretty usual, I just have confrontations. I think when you work later on, then you get the consensus. But the first thing that it takes is just, for me, my experience, confrontation. Because most people don't want to change.
Okay. So, somebody on the other side? Who wants to explain their...
I think real change happens when there's a dialogue and when people can understand the other side and they can, have a mutual opinion on something, when you construct something. And I believe that when real change happens, it's when people can dialogue and build something based on not on differences, but in points of common, punto en común.
I think we're always in confrontation, but when we're in consensus is when the tipping point happens and we make change.
That's when you can lead and change.
Correcto.
When you really believe in what you're doing. So there will always be some confrontation. At the end of the day, the way you're going to get what you want through consensus.
Correcto.
Motivating everybody to
So over here.
Sometimes confrontation is the start, or the
That's what I was saying.
That's what I'm
Why do you have to change at
It's a short-term fix. Confrontation is short-term, consensus is long-term.
Confrontation will not last. It won't cause.
No, that's what I'm saying, that confrontation, unfortunately, confrontation is important at a certain point because we're not going to get along all the time. So it could be the start to move your way towards
The
consensus.
necessary ingredient is what he's saying.
Exactly.
Sometimes I think that if I confront you, sometimes it's going to help you maybe wake you up because everybody's in their head with their own truth. So confronting sometimes shake things up until you can get to that consensus.
But it could also bring you back and take you away from consensus.
Definitely.
But the only way it can definitely take change is when more people are on one side than the other, then that changes. Until that
Come
time.
over here.
Okay, so once again, very interesting, right? Okay, here's our last question. The end game of empathy. The end game of empathy must be acceptance or activism. The end game of empathy should be acceptance of or activism.
Those are the only two choices. How about understanding?
That's not a very, yeah.
That would be acceptance.
Not
So who here feels very strongly that the end game of empathy must be acceptance? Raise your hand if you feel very strongly.
But acceptance from
However they define it, right? Who here wants to? Yes,
I
Brady.
feel that acceptance means, I don't love the word, but if I have to choose between the two, I would go towards acceptance. But it's more that empathy, the end game of empathy, the way I see it, is understanding what the other person is going through and accepting at that level that that's their path and that's what they have to live and how they must be feeling during that. I don't feel it has to do with activism unless that empathy touches me in a place that I want to fight for whatever they're going through. But it doesn't have to lead to activism is how I feel.
Interesting. So over here, who feels strongly that the end game of empathy is on activism? It's you guys over here for sure, right?
Yeah, because I'm over here.
I don't feel strongly about activism, but acceptance, I don't feel strongly about either. So I kind of constructed the meaning around activism as in activate my senses, my feelings towards maybe understanding the other person, because if you accept it, you don't really understand it necessarily.
Right.
So
Exactly.
So what if I told you, what if I gave you a definition, which is my own definition, right? What if I told you that the end game of empathy, if you were going to go out and empathize with someone, if you find that they're wrong in what they're doing, if you feel that what they're doing is bad for them, even if they don't want your help, you are required to take action, even if they're resisting you. Or the other side of it would be is, even if they're doing bad things to themselves, you have to accept that that's their decision and let them be. Does anyone change their mind now?
I'm moving them more towards that.
Now you're even more over here, right? Let them be. They've made their decision, right?
How are you to know that you're right?
Yeah, but
Well,
that's only if you see it in the external way. I think of empathy more of an internal thing first, because to me it's understanding. It's neither acceptance or activism, but the activism to me comes from my internal thoughts, my internal activism. What do I feel when I get in the shoes of this other person, and does it move me to think more about it? So it's an action within to me, and then I can decide if I accept or not. But just acceptance is as a means, empathy is a means to acceptance. It just doesn't really resonate at all. So I go more into the activism because I don't need to accept to be an empath to something.
Well, congratulations to all of you. You have done a creative tensions. Round of applause. Round of speed again.